here, Professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a scantron, it's pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, the traveling snake. So, thumbnail is once again P Valley character. My lady had me watching the series. Like I said, I ain't getting to the uncomfortable parts. The 7 pounds of pressure, the 300 pounds of pressure that Plies was talking about. I get it because I wasn't watching those parts. But there's a particular character in there who's a young lady in the thumbnail who basically came from a bad situation, lost a child, stole money from her ex, and the ex had to track her down, and she's hiding, stripping, because she's on the run, because she's a snake. And she gets in trouble, and then they help her out, and then in turn she snakes one of the main characters in the back. And after she snakes that main character, then it's like, okay, then they have to kind of work together, and she wants to get more than what she deserves out of a situation. So they gave her a great out, but she didn't want to take it. So she wants to double and triple and quadruple and just think she's gonna come up, and thus she winds up losing. But she winds up still having money, quote unquote breaking even, and this, that, and the third, and then she wants to get extra for her snake ways, and it's not going down. So for her curtain call, her closing act, she decides to rob the people that she already stabbed in the back and snaked, and they didn't stab her in the back. They just worked with it and figured out how to make it work. It was like, hey, that's your problem, whatever. And there's a part where the young lady was like, well, I'm just doing what anybody else would have done. And it was like, no, nobody else would have done that. And this is the traveling part, because she went from one city to another city, and it basically ended where she's going to another city. And I forgot the movie with DMX. I think Michael Ealy was playing his son at the time. It was the same scenario where he was a snake in his city, and he traveled, and he was a snake in other cities, but he wound up having to come back home, and that was a whole big blow up and mess. But there are a lot of people who people used to say got skeletons in their closet, and they go from place to place to place, and we forgot, about the traveling snake, and people travel so much now. We look at it like, oh, I'm just moving, I'm traveling, but you're not looking at it like these people have a story to tell. Like when you meet a person and they don't have any family, but they have family. They don't have any friends, but they had friends. They came from a different place, but there's really nobody that they can call on in that place to help them. And you're like, well, how are you here just with no help, nobody? And you play the black sheep role. I'm the black sheep. But people have known the difference between somebody who's a black sheep and somebody who's a snake. A black sheep will still conduct themselves like a decent human being. A snake won't. And part of what I'm talking about is the entitlement, because a traveling snake, a person who's a snake is a problem. A person who's a traveling snake is a bigger problem. But the worst character trait about a snake or a traveling snake is that sense of entitlement, where I just stabbed the person in the back in this place and I moved to this place, but y'all owe me for me selling my soul in that place. So when people are new to a place and they're distant, you try to say, okay, they're trying to protect themselves, they're trying to gauge where they're at, this, that, and the third. But there are other people who are they're really just scoping the environment to plan and plot and scheme and figure, quote unquote, an opportunity to come up on. And normally that opportunity is at somebody's expense that didn't do anything wrong to them. So at a certain point, people who've worn out their welcome everywhere they go. And I can say, a person, depending on the size of the city you're from, you could be a traveling snake in your own city. You can go from the north side to the south side to the east side to the west side to, the northwest, southwest, you know what I'm saying, type of scenario, southeast, northeast type of scenario. You could burn a bridge everywhere you're at. And people think it's a big world, but it's a small world when you're a snake. Because everybody's going to know who you are at some point. That's why people get information on people, because it comes off crazy when you come from a place and it's like, well, why are you here? And people got to remember, just because you come to a new place doesn't mean the people in that new place don't know people from the old place you left. And wherever you go, that's where you are. So you might take your bad habits. You're going to inevitably take your bad habits to this new place. And then it's going to be like, oh, I get it. You one of them people. And once you wear out your welcome, now it's time to bolt. Now the issue with that is, at the end of the day, traveling snakes run out of places to go. Because you can never have a snake can't never have a home. So tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch you on the next one. Peace.